HCO turns 4 this coming November, and what we've achieved in that period of time is 4 townhouse projects. We've completed 1 apartment building. We've been able to get planning approval for another apartment building, 2 office towers, and 2 health and wellbeing centres. My name is Michael Timmins and I run a company called HCO, which is a real estate business that's primary focus is delivering health and wellbeing centres called Maybloom. Maybloom's purpose is to inspire people to move and live positively every day. We believe in the powerful effect that exercise, positive choices and social interaction can have in helping people to prioritise their health. I have nothing to sell you, I'm simply here to share the journey and bring you along for the ride. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my 3 techniques that I've used to create Maybloom's business strategy and how you can create your own business strategy using these 3 simple techniques to then communicate that to all the relevant stakeholders in your business. One of the challenges that we've faced is having a clear and defined business strategy that's easy to be able to communicate to our team, to our investors, to all the relevant stakeholders in our business to ensure that everybody knows where we're going. So about 12 months ago, we began the journey of putting together a clear and defined business strategy that made sense for our business. When this work started, I actually drew upon my experience working at the Hawthorn Football Club. Now, for those of you who have never heard of the Hawthorn Football Club, it's a professional football team in the AFL which encountered incredible success during the years of 2008 to 2015. In fact, during that time, they won 4 premierships, one in 2008 and then a hat-trick across 2013, 2014 and 2015. In 2006, when I joined the football club, I was only 17 years old, starting out in a financial traineeship. But a whole new board had just been appointed. There was a new coach that had come across from Port Adelaide, a new CEO, and a lot of new staff and players had also joined the club. And we just moved to a new training facility at Waverley Park. In 2006, we had 28,000 members, but by 2016, we had 75,000 members. And it was an incredible trajectory when you think about back in 1996, because of so much financial pressure, the Hawthorn Football Club was looking to merge with the Melbourne Football Club. But over the period of about 10 or 15 years, the club had risen to so much success that it was one of the strongest financially backed clubs in the whole AFL. It was an incredible time at the club and I felt very privileged to be part of it. But what was very evident to me was that there was a clear plan in place to win. Things like this don't just happen by accident. You know, things like this get planned strategically and then executed very well. In 2007, the club introduced a new business strategy and it was called 5 to 50, 5 to 50. Very, very easy to remember. And the whole premise of it was that we were giving ourselves 5 years to win 2 premierships with 50,000 members. It was something that was spoken about at the club all the time. The board constantly reiterated the direction that the club was going in, and that was communicated right through to the players, the coaches, the staff and the members. And it was something that we all felt that there was just no doubt was going to happen. The plan commenced in 2008 and ran right through to the end of 2012. By 2008, we'd already won our first premiership, and by the end of 2009, we had over 50,000 members, just 2 years into the plan. And then in 2012, we got this close to bringing home the 2nd premiership, but unfortunately lost to the Sydney Swans by just 10 points. The point to all of this is not to measure did we do it or not, but of course, we would never have got that close to winning 2 premierships and getting over 50,000 members in that period of time without the plan. The whole point is that at that period of time, we could all feel it, that the blood of the whole organisation was just flowing in the one direction. We all knew what we were there to do. So 12 months ago, when we developed the Maybloom business plan, we created it from the same principles. It's called the Maybloom 5-10-200, and it's about 5 years starting from financial year 2023 right through to the financial year of 2027. It stands for 5 completed Maybloom centres with a targeted return of 10% back to our investors and a total value of $200 million in our property fund. In my experience, there's 3 things that you need to get right when creating a business strategy. The first is to make sure that it's simple. It can't be complicated. If it's complicated, no one will remember it and no one will understand it. So when you're creating a business plan, it's got to be simple enough that you can speak to it and everybody gets it. Don't forget, there'll be plenty of layers of detail and complicated financial forecasts and all of that that'll sit behind the business strategy, but the business strategy itself must be simple. The second thing is it must be memorable. You've got to talk about your plan a lot. You've got to constantly reinforce it and ingrain it in the minds of your team and your collaborators and your stakeholders and all the people that are involved in your business. Doesn't matter whether it's top level executive management or whether it's administration or whether it's support staff. Anyone who knows about the plan should be able to remember it and should be able to easily recite it back to you if you ask them about it. The third and final point is that it must be clearly defined. You've got to think about it in terms of, can you step back at the end of the term, look back on your efforts and be able to answer very openly and honestly, did we get there or not? The whole point of this is not sort of being able to definitely achieve things. It's about putting a stake in the ground, working towards that and making sure that everybody understands where it is that you're going and that we're all in it on the journey together. I hope that that answered some questions for you. I hope that that gave you a little bit of insight into how we've prepared the Maybloom 5-10-200 plan. If you think that you could be part of that plan in some way, shape or form, please reach out and get in contact with us. But all in all, I hope that that provides some value to you. If it has, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment in the section below. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.